Hello, everyone. We're giving this a try. Trying out some new software for going live, and yeah, so this won't be a very long broadcast, but I say that all the time, and then it goes really long anyway. Hi, everybody. Bruce Sampson here. I just wanted to take a few minutes in the midst of testing out this software to kind of just tell you update you on some things that are going on recently and the things that are coming up that I'm super excited about. First of all, we, as many of you, if not most of you know, I'm currently serving as the Director of Creative and Production for the Young Americans. And we have, we're currently in the midst of our second spring tour, US spring tour. Um, and so we have a cast that's been touring, and I flew out to join them for the very first workshop on the tour, and it was in Enterprise, Oregon. And it was a great deal of fun. And it was also something I feel like I kind of needed in a way because, um, as we all know, there's just a lot going on in the world right now. And um, just a lot of stuff going on. And I've been kind of feeling lately like like I'm at a crossroads. Even though I'm not really at a crossroads, but I just kind of feel like I am, and just trying to examine life and just trying to think about um, my own mortality and the things that I would like to accomplish before I leave this planet. And I have no idea when that's going to be, uh, obviously. But um, one of the things that I've maintained, and if you've seen my Believe TV before, or if you know me really well, then you know that one of my ambitions, or one of my main ambitions, is to make sure that I use my talents to try to um, inspire, enlighten, engage, uh, mostly with young people, but with communities everywhere in all ages, to uplift folks and to bring people together to create unity. It's one of the things that I was working on during, actually prior to and during the pandemic, during the shutdown and all of that. I just moved everything to being as an online presence of that movement, if you will. And I, um, anyway, I have that as kind of my motivation, but there are times that just in life where you get um, clouded by just stuff, right? Bills, life, family stuff, business, what have you, right? And I was kind of going through one of those kind of moments and stuff where it was a little frustrated and just trying to figure out, what's the next thing to do? What should I focus most of my attention on? And in the midst of all of that, I'm flying out to Oregon, and I get there and we're doing the workshop, and the kids come out and they're doing their thing. And I'm watching these young Americans, some of which are on their very first project that we've been rehearsing with and working with uh, for the prior 3 weeks or so, right? And seeing them in their element doing this and learning and growing and everything. And it was just kind of that reminder of like, oh yeah. Every once in a while I just need that little reminder of like, oh yeah, this is why you do it. And the the rough things that you're going through, or just the normal things that you're going through, are all worth it, because in the end you're making a difference. So at the end of the performance, we did a 3-day workshop, and at the end of it, we did a show for the community, and I was talking to the audience and everything. And not only did we get some standing ovations and everything, but it was just so wonderful to have conversations with the contacts, like the administrators, the principals, the teachers, as well as some of the parents and community members who came out to see the show. And the feedback that I got afterwards about the young Americans and what they had done. And it just made me extremely proud, and just, again, was a reminder of what this is all about, why we do all this stuff, and um, and why I spend so much energy and and heart and all of the stuff, blood, sweat, and tears, to try to accomplish these things. And also, it's another opportunity for me to recognize my blessings, in the sense that it's something that I clearly wanted to do. And I've said for years, I want to have an impact. So whatever I can do, and so I created this thing called Believe, and was doing that and everything, and just trying to figure out how can I reach more people and whatever. And then all of a sudden, when things opened up after the pandemic, then I started getting calls from the young Americans saying, hey, will you come and direct this? Hey, will you come and write this? And what have you. And then there was a point a couple of years into it where they said, why don't you come do this full time? like, why don't you come be here and kind of run the creative and production side of things? And so it's that whole thing of recognizing your blessings, in that, when you ask God for something and you're like, hey, this is something I want to do. And then he goes, okay, great, here you go. and he lays it out for you. It's, and things may not go exactly the way you want, the way you plan, but it's still a blessing that, it's what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for. You may surely get it. And so to be able to have that, and then also, obviously that takes up a lot of my time. And so to be able to have Believe continue, to have these amazing, talented friends of mine who have been part of Believe for, some since the beginning, and some for a number of years now, to jump on board and be a part of all of this is super exciting. It's a little overwhelming at times, but it's another one of those things of, you're so blessed that you have folks who believe in the mission of what we do so much. And the other cool thing was so the Believe team just had a Zoom meeting. And it was so cool to see that we now have people who started as kids taking our Believe camps, who are now counselors and working with us, that are part of the team now. And to hear them talk about how much it means to them is incredible. And then we had this incredible team of folks who came, not last year, but the year before, that documented everything in terms of video and taking pictures and things like that. And so those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, then you probably have seen on my feed the video that they created, which is basically, this particular video is just testimonials from the kids who participate in Believe. And I'm pretty sure that was our anniversary year, like our 10-year anniversary, when that video was all captured. And listening to those kids talk, and to hear them get emotional, and the statements they were making about the difference it was making in their lives, again, that's when you go, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And in this world that we live in, and this was some of the conversation I had with some of the parents in this community in Enterprise, Oregon, was about, how things are in the world right now, and how things feel divided, and just all of the craziness that's going on, right? And to have them recognize, because it's one thing to like when you're writing these shows and putting things together, and that somewhere along the line you're hoping that it reaches people on this other level. I mean, first of all, you want it to entertain, and you want to give the kids a platform for them to express themselves, and for them to lift themselves up, and to show um, these things that they can do, that maybe inside they've always wanted to try, or didn't think they had the capability of achieving, and then giving them the platform and the opportunity, and supporting them in achieving that, right? And taking those steps. And then to have, but then also to have the community. Uh, so many people came up to me and just like held onto my hand and was just like, thank you for this. This is so special what you all are doing. You've changed some lives, and not just the kids. Tonight after the show, but after seeing the show, our hearts are changed, and we need more of this in the world. And like to go, oh, they got it. They fully got it. Like, oh, okay. Because some people can look at, and I think we all know this to some degree, that you can look at the very same thing and um, and see it differently, right? We can look at the very same thing, or listen to the same thing, and somehow we just see it and comprehend it differently. And so it's cool when you hope that it reaches people on another level, and that they appreciate the other parts of what's happening, that it's not just entertainment of like, oh, that was cute, that was fun, and go on about your business, forget about it. And one of the reasons that I know and feel so strongly about that impact in this particular town was because there's probably not a day that's gone by since I left that there hasn't been some communication with some of the folks there. Either them going on Facebook and responding to things that I post, or just reaching out to me and sending me an email or something on Messenger or whatever, and how excited they were about booking us for the next thing. Because like even that very night when we were like packing everything up to move on, they were trying to lock us down for next year. And I'm like, okay, whoa, let's let's get through this one first, and then we'll have that conversation. And we've already talked about some other different projects we can do for that community, and it's just beautiful. And what's been also really cool is that this is a town that we've been to a few times before, right? And the organization, the Young Americans, have been there before. Not that I've been there, but the Young Americans have been there before. And so what's really cool is when I posted things about the town, to have other Young American alumni who have been there before, to see them respond and say, oh yeah, wonderful place. I love that town, and I love the people there, and all of that. And to reestablish connections where some of the people who, homestayed other, Young Americans, they got to connect again, after probably years of being out of contact. So all of that is just beautiful, and it's just a blessing, right? And I, and again, so with the Young Americans and with Believe, it's just really, really cool. I was going to share this with you for those of you who aren't aware. So Believe Performing Arts camps are going to be taking place in Gallman, Mississippi at Capaya Academy, and also at Slidell, Louisiana at Living the Word International. And if you haven't signed up yet, you should do that as soon as possible. There is actually a discount right now. I forget the deadline for it, but it's probably in the next week or so that the price goes back up to normal. But there is a discount if you register. I think you register in the next little bit of time here. And all of you who have participated before, you should have check your emails because um, I sent out some stuff, and I know Abby Paul sent out some stuff in Spider, and O has posted some things encouraging folks to go online and get signed up. So we're coming to Gallman, Mississippi, and to Slidell. Now, in both those instances, you don't necessarily just have to be from Gallman. Like, you can be from surrounding areas, or if you want to come from a distance. So those folks in Bogalusa, for instance, in Washington Parish, Louisiana, where we normally go and where we've been, was the impetus and the spark that made me even start Believe in the first place. Feel free to sign up for Slidell, because Slidell is really close. It's only like a half hour, 40 minutes away. So you can sign up for that one. And then Gallman is 2 hours away. And I know with Slidell, we've had that in the past, or where like normally we would start in either Gallman or Bogalusa, and we would sometimes have students who would take that camp, then turn around and sign up for the one in Slidell and come to that one as well. So it's not unusual for people to go the distance or to take multiple camps in a row. So yeah, wanted you to know about that. And then also, I'm going to share this with you as well. So we have our casting call, and we technically have passed the date, but we're actually still kind of keeping it open for a few more people. We have a couple more spots for our dinner theater, and we have a few more spots for our summer camps. We are especially looking for males, preferably 18 and older. Ideally, we prefer people out of high school. So if you're in your senior year and you're about to graduate in May, you're still eligible. So you can go to the youngamericans.org website, and there's something on there that you can click for audition, and it will take you to fill out a little form, and then you can upload a video of yourself singing and or dancing, or both. Ideally, it'd be great if you do both, and fill out the information and submit it, and then we will get back to you. Okay, let me see. What is this here? Oh, okay. I'm just getting used to this new software. So I just saw a message from Lacey. This is one of my relatives. She said, because I don't think I can I show it on the screen? Oh, I can. Yay. Okay. See, I'm new to this software. Like, I'm used to using another software, so I'm testing out this new one. So yeah, I do have the same capabilities there. So she said, you motivate these young people. It takes the right person. So proud of your accomplishments. God bless. God bless you. Thank you. And as I was saying before, it's a blessing for me. You know what I mean? It's a total and complete blessing to be gifted with the gifts to be able to do it, but also the opportunity. Because, there's a lot of times when, you may have the ability to do something, but if you don't have the opportunity, you feel like those talents are wasted, or what have you. And in both these situations, these are both things that I feel extremely passionate about, and am really, again, honored and blessed to have the opportunity to do this. Okay, so now I want to address something else, and this is primarily for Washington Parish and for Bogalusa. Um, and this might be a little uncomfortable, but I just feel very strongly like I need to say this. So, as I mentioned before, Believe summer camps began because I trying to figure out how to get this off the screen. I don't even know. Remove. There we go. Okay. So what so anyway, Believe started because I'd been traveling around the world with young Americans and was seeing the impact it was having on young people and all of that. And I won't get into the whole story, but had a situation happen on one of those tours over in Europe that just gave me an epiphany, and that I needed to do something of my own creation and do it from my hometown, my home community, home parish. And so that's when Believe Performing Arts Experience was born. The idea was to do it one time, to just come back home, invite these friends of mine that are professionals and just incredible talents and just beautiful people to come in and work with the young people in my community and inspire them and lift them up and do something for the community as a whole. And in the midst of all of that, it ended up just kind of growing organically of like, oh, come back next year. And then there were people who came to the very first, I mean, well, actually, uh, the very first one that we did, well, actually, it's the second one. So sorry. So I came up with this idea of doing Believe, right? So then we did kind of a test version, like a 1-day workshop version in Roland Heights, California. Then we came to Louisiana, where we went to Slidell High School, and we did a full-blown week camp there, 5-day camp there. And I had some friends of mine who had lived in Bogalusa before, but were now in Gallman, Mississippi, teaching and living. And so they brought some friends and their kids and everything, and they came and spent the week in Slidell and took the Believe camp. And in the midst of all that, they were like, "We need you to come to us next year." And so all of a sudden, here we were, initially thinking this is going to be a one and done kind of thing. And before we even got to Bogalusa, we already had an offer for next year from both them and from Slidell, from the Slidell community, as well as a gentleman, Daniel Song, a friend of mine who's no longer with us, but who said to me, the children of China need this too. And so in that first summer, and ended up doing all those. I only meant to go to one place and do it once, and we ended up going to all those places. And I ended up going to China for a few weeks and visiting 3 different cities, 3 different schools and communities, and working with kids and teaching them by myself. And then we were invited back. I think it was 2 years later. Well, actually, the following year, the people from China came to California, and we did kind of a mini weekend version of it, of Believe. And then we were invited to bring our whole team to China, and we did that. So anyway, having said all of that, back to Bogalusa, Washington Parish. One of the reasons that we are not going there this year is primarily because of the lack of unity in the community. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's the lack of unity. Um, it's Okay, I got 5 minutes. Let's see. How do I say this? So the truth is, my whole team really wanted to go, and I'd had different factions and groups of people reaching out to me and saying, "We really want to come back. We really want to go back," because they love Bogalusa and they love the kids there, especially because they know it has an impact, right? And so they were like, we're going to do it again, because I'll just be totally honest with you. And I may have said this before in the past, but I haven't said it in a while. Of all the places that we go, and we've been to Florida, we've been all over Louisiana, all over Mississippi, different places. Like I said, we've done them in California. We've done adult Believe camps in California, China, all of that. Doing it in Bogalusa and Washington Parish is the most difficult one of all, putting together. And it should be the easiest. It's like, that's my hometown. I dang near know everybody. That should be easy, but it's not. And the frustrating thing about it is, from the very beginning, I had people approaching me saying, "We want you to come back and do Believe, but we don't want those people to do it, or we don't want to do it over there. We want to do it over here." And I'm like, "No, you're missing the whole point of what Believe is. It's about, again, our mission statement is to use the performing arts to engage, educate, inspire, and unite young people and communities." So it makes no sense for us to say, we'll do some for these people over here and some for these people over here, because they can't get along and be in the same space. That is so stupid. I'm just going to come right out and say it. It's stupid. And it goes completely against everything that Believe is supposed to be about. And I quite honestly refuse to go back until we get that right, until my community figures it out and puts stuff aside and understands that they can come together and do something for the kids and for themselves if they open their eyes and open their hearts and minds to it. But I'm just being completely honest and saying, I don't want to go there again, because it's too stressful and it's too frustrating. And to feel like every time I come there, in recent years at least, it has felt like, when we ask people in the community to help, I mean, but now there are some who step up every time. So please understand, I am not talking about you all. Those of you who donate every year, who feed, who volunteer, and all of that, love you, thank you. This is not about you. This is about the other folks in the community and the difficulty in getting people to register and come be a part of it, to get the support that we need for it in the community. Again, I'm from Bogalusa. I'm from Washington Parish. I know folks, right? And you would think that everyone would go, "Oh, yes, let's get behind this. This is somebody we can trust. This is somebody who has a reputation. This great. Let's do this." And it doesn't turn out that way, and it just becomes even more and more frustrating to pull that off. And so I guess I'm just throwing down the gauntlet and saying, when you're ready, I'm ready. Let me know. Otherwise, we're going to go in areas around you. And for those who want to be a part of it, can bring their kids to that. But I am not going to beg people to be a part of it anymore, because there are too many other places that recognize what we're bringing and appreciate it and are willing to jump through all kinds of hoops to try to make it happen. And when my own hometown that it was created for, my own home parish, can't get it together, then no. And with everything that I've seen, at least online and what have you, of what's going on now, seems to me You all really need us. Whether you realize it or not, you need us. And that's not a patting myself on the back thing at all. This is just me recognizing what we have to offer, what those kids need, what the adults need, and how much my team wants to help and to give, but not if we're going to be treated like we have to pay in order to do it for you. And that doesn't happen anywhere else. And that was kind of one of my final straws for me. Was It wasn't the final straw, but it was one of them, when it was kind of addressed to me that we were going to have to start paying to come and put on Believe. And I'm like, you don't even realize. And some people complained about the price, and I'm like, look, you find some of these businesses around here to support it so the kids can do it for free. I'm all for that, but I can't ask people, and I can't afford to fly all these people out from all over the country, have them take off time from their projects and turn down other really well-paying opportunities to come here, and lose money in the deal. I just can't do it. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, and I'm always willing to talk and discuss the possibilities, because I love my hometown. I love my home parish. I love the kids, and I would love for them to experience the same things that I'm doing, like not only across the United States, but around the world, you know? So anyway, having said all of that, BelieveCamp.com or BelieveCamp.org, go there and get signed up for Believe. If you're interested in being part of the Young Americans, for some of our summer projects that we have going on, we have summer camp tour that's kind of going all across the country. And then we also have our dinner theater that we do. I think this is going to be our 47th year of doing this particular dinner theater up in Northern Michigan. And I'm super excited about that. So we have that. And we might even have a spot or two still open for Japan, because we're also doing workshops in Japan as well during the summer. So go to youngamericans.org for that, and go to BelieveCamp.com for Believe. All right. And also, if there are any businesses or individuals who would like to support us, we are a 501c3, the Believe Camp. So welcome you to just go to our website, and there's something on there where it says support. Just go there and you can fill out that information, and we appreciate any help we can get, especially if you want to help sponsor some kids to take it as well, to take the camps that we do. All righty. So I am past the time I said I was going to do. Thank you for those who tuned in. I'm going to check this out and see if I like this software and see if it's worth continuing with, or next time I may try something new. Anyway, bless you all. Take care. Be safe. Live long and prosper.